The Shopping Spree. Once upon a time, in the bustling town of Maplewood, lived a young woman named Clara. Clara was known for her love of fashion and her ability to find the most stylish outfits on any given day. She had an eye for trends, often scouring magazines and social media for the latest styles. One day, she received her first paycheck from her new job, and the excitement that followed was unlike anything she had felt before. The weight of responsibility momentarily vanished, and all Clara could think about was how she could reward herself for her hard work. After all, she had spent months saving every penny to help her family and pay off a few outstanding bills. Now that her financial burden had lessened, she decided it was time to indulge herself in something she had long postponed: a grand shopping spree. The morning of the spree, Clara woke up with a sense of purpose. She put on her favorite dress, grabbed her purse, and headed straight to the largest shopping mall in the town. The doors of the mall gleamed like the gates to paradise, welcoming her into a world of possibilities. As Clara entered, she felt overwhelmed by the sheer size and variety of stores. Every corner seemed to boast of glittering dresses, shiny shoes, and bags that whispered her name. She wasted no time and walked into the nearest boutique. Hours passed as Clara moved from one shop to another, her arms growing heavier with bags filled with shoes, dresses, and accessories. By noon, she had already spent half of her paycheck. The thrill of swiping her card and receiving new items was intoxicating. It wasn't just about buying things, it was about feeling like she had control, like she could own whatever she desired. Yet, despite her happiness, a small voice at the back of her mind began to whisper concerns about her spending. But Clara, caught in the whirlwind of excitement, ignored the voice and continued to splurge. As the day wore on, the weight of her purchases began to grow heavier, not just in her hands, but in her mind as well. Clara found herself carrying more than she could handle, both physically and financially. She entered the last store of the day, a luxury brand she had admired from afar for years. Inside, a beautiful dress caught her eye, silk, embroidered, and shining with intricate designs. The price tag was astronomical, but Clara convinced herself that this dress would be worth it. It would be the crown jewel of her wardrobe, the one thing she would always remember from her shopping spree. Without much thought, she made the purchase, her card swiped again. However, as the cashier handed her the receipt, reality finally struck. She had spent more than she had earned in her first month of work, leaving her account nearly empty. The guilt crept in, and Clara felt a sinking feeling as she realized the consequences of her impulsive actions. The dress, once so alluring, now felt like a burden. Clara returned home exhausted, both from the weight of the bags and the weight of her regret. She sat in her room, surrounded by her purchases, and suddenly, they didn't bring her the joy she expected. Instead, she saw them for what they truly were: temporary distractions from the larger responsibilities she had chosen to ignore. She thought about her family, the bills that still needed paying, and the future she had yet to plan for. The next day, Clara returned many of the items she had bought, knowing that they were not worth the financial strain they would cause. She realized that while it's essential to treat oneself occasionally, balance and moderation are crucial. Clara learned that true fulfillment doesn't come from material things, but from making responsible decisions that align with one's long-term well-being. And from that day forward, she vowed to be more mindful of her spending, ensuring that her desires never outweighed her responsibilities. Moral: indulging in life's pleasures is important, but responsibility and balance are essential for long-term happiness. Excessive spending on fleeting desires often leads to temporary satisfaction but long-lasting regret.